So, you are beginning to see how the topic of cultural appropriation can be confusing, maybe even very confusing.
Yes. Now I'm trying to understand appropriation versus appreciation. If a person in a culture uses something from another culture, is it always bad?
No, not always. If you look carefully, it seems only to matter who is doing the judging and who is being judged.
What do you mean by that?
Let's say a person or group makes the claim that cultural appropriation has happened. In most cases, this person or group is not part of the offended group. They are speaking on behalf of that group.
So people from one group come forward and say that this other group is offended?
Correct.
Hmm, now I really don't understand. What are the protesters trying to do?
The people calling it cultural appropriation are rarely part of the group they say is offended. The offense is assumed, meaning they say the group is offended without any evidence. They are protesting to end what they feel is a cultural or social injustice. They feel that the injustice they see around them as a modern form of colonialism.
This is a really weird way to protest.
I agree. But you wanted to know the difference between appropriation and appreciation, right?
Yes, for sure.
If you look closely at what is going on, it seems only to be cultural appropriation when there is a Caucasian person or group involved. This is when it counts as cultural appropriation. But if something is used by any other person or group that is not Caucasian, it is called cultural appreciation.
Is it really that simple?
Yes. And that is the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation.
Wow, makes sense. But what is the injustice they are trying to fix?
The protesters believe they are working to end all forms of colonization. In this case, cultural colonization. It's a big movement and getting bigger.
I never looked at it that way. It's still a bit confusing, but I think I understand it better now.
I can understand that. It's a very complex topic, but at the same time, it's not so complex.
True, and I think I need more time for it all to sink in. The cross-cultural issues in the US are much more complicated than we foreigners can comprehend fully.